we're going to talk about plays.
Plays, you say?
Oh no, a theater kid! Welcome to ThorinMutt Podcast. Your one-stop shop for podcasts.
Wow.
Today we have the cameraman on camera.
How's it going?
So we got nobody back there.
I shouldn't be here.
Don't talk to the people.
There's literally nobody back there now because
no one's on camera.
Because everybody is on the camera.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to talk about plays, and we got our resident theater kid right here.
I am I'm not totally a theater kid. We've always said that I'm like the balance between the normal kid and the theater kid. I'm like in the middle. Ow! I told you I'm not a theater kid. God.
Thanks for peeking the mic, Mickey.
Whatever.
Okay. Michael.
Whatever.
Okay, but anyway.
I'm not.
We're going to talk about plays. Plays me and Gabe went to in elementary school, and also plays that we were in high school. I don't think Gabe was in any plays.
No, in high school. Not in high school.
He wasn't even in high school.
No, he never went to high school.
I didn't graduate.
Nope.
No.
I just stopped going.
Mm-hmm.
No. So let's start this by telling stories about the plays me and Gabe were forced to be in. Forced.
Yeah, in elementary school.
And that word we don't use that word lightly.
We had to go to the winter play, and up until third grade the spring
play
and
musical.
In third grade you had to have a speaking role in the spring
since you were the big boys on the scene.
So the winter one was the big musical and the spring one was the small musical.
Yes, indeed.
I don't remember the spring musical except for third grade because I was a spider.
I remember them all.
I was a spider.
I have a picture of Gabe as a spider. There it is. None of us can see it, but you can.
Wow,
I just know I have one on my.
But
I also have one of me.
I had like 2 lines and I botched both lines.
Oh, been there, done that.
Yes. So we'll start with the first grade musical Christmas.
Okay.
Miracle on Main Street. You know the movie Miracle on 34th Street? It's a play on that.
It's a bootleg.
It's a bootleg play on that.
It's a
and it's like, and the song was like, "You're all invited to our Christmas show. We'd really like to see you there." Those were the words. And then the actions were like...
It's Oscar worthy right there.
Like right there, see? Like that's what we did. And then the lines that they all said was like, "Tomorrow's our show, but the mayor won't let us in the show because nobody could act. Tomorrow is the show, but mayor won't let us act in it because he is not liking Christmas.
He's mean.
He's mean. He doesn't like Christmas." And the mayor was like, "Guys, you can't be in the play because it's not good." You know, because nobody could act at that school because you were forced.
Yeah,
you were forced.
It was such a small class.
No training.
The school had about
no
auditions, no nothing.
Oh, jeez.
We practiced, but that was
move the mic to here.
Oh yeah,
because it was kind of in the way of your face. I just realized that.
Thank you.
The closest we had was practicing.
We got a week of practice,
which I liked because we wouldn't have to do schoolwork.
I hated it though. I was always very not liking going into the gym and having the whole school assembled.
I liked it. I didn't have to do schoolwork.
I know, but I always got very nervous when it came to that.
Better than schoolwork.
That's true.
I would much rather be at play practice than school, obviously.
Yeah, but when you're in high school, you have to be at play practice at night.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that later.
We'll get to that later on. Gabe is not a witness to that.
No.
But we're going to tell him how bad it was.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway.
It was the worst.
Anyway, so you're forced to be in it. You got all the grades, 1 through 8. Every grade is in this play. But then some of them are the ensemble, which are just the kids that sing. You don't have a part. Mm-hmm. And then
every
in
part
certain
is
songs,
important.
That's in certain. Not in this school.
It was all grade 1 through 5. That was the ensemble.
Yeah. Well, some people in 6th through 8th, you had a part. Yeah. You would almost need to get a part, or you'd be spotlight or soundboard or on the tech crew. You know, you'd be one of those people, but you'd be forced to be involved in it. Like you couldn't get out of it. It wasn't an option. Not at all. But every other song, like certain grades, would go on the stage and like sit on the stage and then sing the song. You remember that? Yeah. And we'll get to the 5th grade one because that was actually good. That was the only good one. But the spring musical, that was grades 1 through 3, kindergarten and preschool. Preschool always sang like a bunch of songs like little kid nursery rhyme songs beforehand. They did their own show, and then the big boys come up.
Then the parents would clap, and then the preschoolers go away.
And then the parents of the preschoolers would leave.
Yep.
Unless they had siblings that were in the spring thing, of course.
And then the preschoolers were forced to sit there with their parents.
First grade was called Archaeology. It's a play on archaeology, but it was archaeology, like Noah's Ark, like an ark, like a big boat.
Wow.
Yeah. And we all had to play animals.
Because wasn't this a religious school?
Yeah.
It was a religious school.
Yes.
That makes sense.
Archaeology.
Ark of the Covenant?
No. Ark is in boat.
Oh,
I explained it, Gabe. We didn't do an Indiana Jones themed. There was one, though. You remember that? There was an Indiana Jones themed one, and we were going to do it, but then all the girls were like, no, let's do the bug one. Let's do the one with the bugs. There was an Indiana Jones one, and it was going to be so good. We didn't do it. And there was also a Gilligan's Island one, if you know what that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we didn't do that one either because the girls wanted to do the bug play in third grade. And I played the horsefly.
Wow.
And Gabe.
I was the spider, as I mentioned earlier.
Wow.
And my line was...
You guys are stars.
My line was... I'm a horsefly, and I hurt anyone who with me tangles.
That's very true.
I don't remember
That's accurate.
my line.
Your line was, you have to crawl on everything. That's all I remember. And then when you said crawl, you like shook the spider thing.
But
and you said it like, you have to crawl on everything. And I was like, and then there's a video of me walking up there to say my line. Like they took video of all these plays, and I get up there and I'm like I got to get ready to say the line, and I'm like, I'm a horsefly and I hurt anyone who with me tangles. And then I walk back. Like I run down there and I'm like, and I remember when it came for my cue.
Yeah.
Like all the kids were on these risers. They were sitting on these risers, you see? Like they were right here. They were sitting on the risers. And when it came to your line, you'd have to jump off the riser and go to the mic because you didn't have face mics until you were a sixth grader.
Sixth grader. Forget.
However, the face mics you got when you were a sixth grader were like that big. And it was like
Jeez.
it was like you were Britney. It was like you were Britney Spears or something. Yeah. And then it got to my line, and I remember I had to I was like, everybody, let me through. I didn't say that, but they wouldn't, and so I shoved this girl. She almost fell off the thing, and it was like it made a noise. It was like it made a squeak noise. And then I get to the line, and I'm like, I'm a horsefly. Like it was that long. Like I'm like, I'm a horsefly.
I'm a horsefly, and I hurt anyone who with me tangles.
That was a bad play, too. Yeah. We were going to do Gilligan's Island, and we didn't. Or Indiana Jones.
But we didn't.
Wow. But we didn't.
I would have played Indiana Jones. Even though I would not have.
No, you wouldn't.
I would not have.
It would have been like Cooper or something. Because Cooper played the ring bear in that one.
Yeah.
He was like, welcome one and all to the thing.
Yeah, he was
Cooper was
theatrical.
He is.
I wasn't theatrical as a kid.
Yeah, he was like, welcome one and all to the play of the Bugs play.
Anyway.
It was like A Bug's Life, kind of.
Yeah, it's pretty much the exact
same. It was the storyline of A Bug's Life.
Anyway, how about the Christmas musicals?
So, second grade, we did Camelot. But it's the literal sense of the word camel-lot. And it's about a camel salesman during the Romans. Because he sells camels to the Egyptians.
Things black.
He sells camels to the Egyptians. And that's it. And it's because Camelot was a castle.
It's a Camelot.
And Camelot is also a camera store. Camelot.
But I thought they were... Wait. Okay.
Camelot, the camera store.
Yeah. What was the...
Really? Oh, wow.
What was the detective story?
That was fifth grade.
Fifth grade? Okay.
The Maltese Manger. Instead of the Maltese Falcon, which is an old 1950s film noir thing.
What other musicals do... I don't
Fourth grade was It All Happened in the Country.
Okay.
And my brother Christian had the lead role.
I remember that.
In which he played Grandpa Yule, which is short for Yuletide.
Yes.
And that's a line in the thing.
Yeah.
And he used an old man voice that I made up.
Yeah.
It
Oh,
doesn't even
cool.
sound like an old man voice, but he used this exact same voice, and
That
then he
sounds-
said it was his own.
The one you're doing does sound like an old man voice.
Yeah, but he didn't do it right.
Oh.
He didn't do it right, and he stole it from me.
You could have
because
done it better.
I could have, but I was just on the ensemble.
Oh,
Because you're a fourth grader.
Yeah,
jealousy.
you were on the ensemble too.
Yeah, I was
So what are you
too. I
gonna
sat
do?
right
There's a
next
picture of us
Yeah.
at that
I'd
play.
always sit
Like
next-
us, like
Yeah, I always sit
You know?
next to you, and we'd always go.
I no, we didn't get to sit next to each other in fourth grade,
Oh,
and it was like no, like we got split up. I had to sit next to Isaac Berglund, the rhino
kid.
the rhino. I had to sit next to Isaac Berglund, and we just made fun of the whole show. Like changed every word to Cooper.
Yeah.
Like It's Christmas in the City was a song. We changed it. It's Christmas in Coopersville. Like it all happened in the Cooper.
Yeah.
Like instead of it all happened in the country.
Anyway.
And then fifth grade was Maltese Manger. That was the best play. It was written by our director.
Yeah, it was actually a decent.
Those
story.
are
It was.
good.
Once again, my brother had a lead role as
Yeah, he was the
Siegfried.
detective,
No,
wasn't he?
that was
Was it?
Matthew Jonke,
Oh.
who also has the same name as me. Matthew Jonke's a cool guy. He's a nice guy. But he was Bobby Angel.
Bobby.
And my brother was Siegfried, who used the voice like this because he was Siegfried. But he didn't. I don't know. He didn't do it right. But he like hammed it up because at one point in the show he was supposed to be like, "You'll never catch me," and then he was supposed to run away. But he made a big deal of it and ran around the whole crowd. And kept running around in circles around the crowd,
wow.
and then he ran out, and he got a standing ovation.
Wow.
And I was like,
Beautiful.
why am I related to him? I was like, I hate my brother. Why am I related to him? Because at that point I wasn't a fan of my brother.
Yeah.
We weren't
Was.
tight like we are now.
Yeah. He would make fun of you. He'd film
At
you while
least.
you're trying to get your pants on.
That's right. Yeah, there is a video of that. I'm not going to show that
Yeah.
Okay.
on here though. Yeah, he was very mean to me, and I was like, so what? And then my grandparents still to this day talk about that. Like my grandma brought it up last time. She was like, "Was that play when Christian ran around the whole crowd?" And I was like, "Oh, I should have been that, even though I was in 5th grade."
That should've been
But I had
you.
my own part.
Yeah.
So did Gabe. There was a part in a song where there was a break, and we were supposed to dance during the break. However, dance we did, and it was basically just a bunch of kids stomping all over the stage. And your sister, I remember you said this. She said she'd give you $20 if you did Oppa Gangnam Style. If you did Gangnam
I
Style
don't remember that.
on the stage,
Did
because that just tells you what year this was.
Yeah. Did I?
No,
Oh,
you
dang.
chickened out.
Dang.
Uh-oh.
But
I
if you
wish
did
I did
Gangnam Style, she would give you
It would have
$20.
been funny.
Yeah, that would have been funny.
That would have been funny.
But you didn't want to be singled out.
Yeah, I didn't want to be noticed.
Yeah, but it was just us
That's
jumping up and
how-
down.
That's how you get famous in the showbiz.
Just not
you
on
gotta-
this.
On the video of the show, when it comes to that dance part, all you hear is
Okay.
all you hear is that.
Kids,
That's all you hear because you can't even hear the music because it's just kids
Yeah.
stomping around on the.
kids like stomping.
Oh yeah, and there was also a song where we had to play kazoos. There was a
Oh,
kazoo
God.
solo.
Oh,
That was
my God.
awesome. That was
Wow.
great though.
Do you still have your kazoo?
No,
I don't.
That's
no, I
alright.
It
lost
was a
mine.
gold kazoo.
It was a golden kazoo. It was awesome.
Zoo.
Let's
Yeah.
talk about Mickey's.
Oh.
Let's move on to
Oh.
high school.
High school plays, yes.
We're gonna start with the biggest one, the one I was involved in. Legally Blonde.
Oh, that was a fun one. Oh, what was that?
That was the buzzer.
I was like,
People buzz all the time.
Oh, okay.
Whatever. Keep going.
Right
that
when we
must
got
have
to
been really
the-
loud
right
though
when
when
we
I was
got it.
holding it.
Right when we got to the best part.
Anyway.
Legally
Alright.
Blonde,
Legally Blonde.
which is a movie, if you don't know.
It's a movie. No, it's a musical based on a movie, based on a book, and as most musicals are. I like the musical more than the movie, but others.
only because you got the lead male role.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's this part that kind of was a highlight for me of that show. It was my first time having like an actual lead role. I played the role of Emmett, which if you're
He's
unfamiliar,
just some weird guy.
He's some weird guy. For those of you who are unfamiliar, he's just some creepy dude who just walks around with a stupid blazer and a stupid book bag. And he's a freaking nerd.
He's a stupid guy.
Yeah.
He's a stupid head.
Well, he's not stupid. He's quite smart. He's just a nerd.
He's stupid.
He's very stupid. But yeah, no, Emmett is this studious young lad who basically simps for the main. What is the kid?
He's like staring at me.
Staring at us. He's staring at us. Okay. Anyways, Emmett Forrest is the male not the male protagonist.
He's the male antagonist.
Yeah, he's the antagonist. That's a different guy. Emmett is this dude who helps out the main girl, Elle, and like because he feels bad for her, I guess. And we're gonna have to explain the whole show in order to get this across.
Just tell you the experience.
Let me just
tell us the experience.
Let's talk about the experience, okay?
Yes.
So I played this guy Emmett, and I took that pretty seriously because it was my first time having a lead role, and I convinced Matt here to be on the tech crew for that show, which he did. How was that, Matt?
It was bad.
I said that right. Yeah.
Yeah, peeking the mic a little bit.
It was
so turn down your gain.
Oh come on, you loved it.
Well,
no, it was bad.
Well, the show
show
was all right, and it was very memorable.
It was very memorable. I know you and the rest of the crew didn't like the songs very much.
No, I'm not a fan of show tunes at all.
Yeah, there's some show tunes that are like that. Yeah, I like some show tunes, but there are definitely some that just aren't my cup of tea.
You know, there's going to be a lot of people in the comments now being like, why did they get this theater kid?
Yeah,
what are you going to say to them?
Who invited this nerd?
What are you going to say to them about you being a theater
like
kid?
I said, what else am I going to say? Obviously, I am deserving of this slander because, I'm a theater kid. I don't deserve rights or respect
you don't
or
deserve
love.
to live, really.
I don't deserve to live. No, theater kids are the bane of everyone's existence.
That is true.
And band kids.
And band kids, yes. But like I said, I'm only halfway there, but slander away. Anyways, so Legally Blonde was a fun time. There are definitely should I talk about the kiss? I'm digging myself a grave here.
You really are. You should probably stop.
No, listen.
The kiss was weird.
It was awkward when we rehearsed it. We did it a few times. And luckily we got it right eventually. But I was really nervous. I was freaking out. This one time after we pulled apart, I like exhaled just in her face. After we stopped kissing, I just what is it? What is it? Yeah,
That's literally everybody watching this right now.
Oh man. After we finished the kiss, I just went like right in her face.
Back to podcast.
That will forever go down as the most anxious moment in just my life. Every time I think about that, I just cringe.
I thought you hated that word.
What?
I thought you hated.
I do hate cringe, but it was a cringe-worthy moment. I'm just glad that the both of us together. We didn't make it any weirder than it already was for just me. Yeah, it was awkward. We eventually got it down pat eventually, and it turned out okay.
Well, good. So, now we're gonna move on to talking about. We're
not done. We're not done talking about high school theater.
We're done. Okay, we got
done
Sister
talking
Act.
about kissing. Sister Act. That
That's
was another one.
End of the story.
That was another one he did.
He was a cop, and that's it.
I was a cop. I was a sweaty cop.
He was a cop.
I was a cop.
That's literally what it sounded like. Anyway,
all right.
So we're gonna move on to when me and Gabe used to have to go to plays during school.
Yeah, we had
to witness plays of the
level
level that you were in.
Yeah.
And as a theater kid, you can comment on what we saw.
Well,
okay.
And how awkward we were.
There's only one thing I remember though about elementary school going to plays is that we made fun of that one backdrop where it looked like a giant asparagus tower.
That was at the Nutcracker.
Yeah, that was the one thing I remember.
There was a tower in the back that looked like a giant asparagus, so we made fun of it, and we're like, it wasn't an asparagus. It was during the Candyland part.
Yeah.
Was this a ballet version, or?
I don't know. It was ballet.
There are a lot of places that do that every December.
It was like a college play.
It was the. I'm not gonna say the college.
Yeah.
But it's at a local. Oh, okay.
Well, you can't see it because the mug is blocking it. But
what stories do you remember? That's all I remember.
Because I got really anxious before we would go because I hated going to plays. Because plays to me when I was young was just people going, and we're in a play,
lame, stupid
and it's so elegant, and it's like
that sums it
I
up.
can just watch a movie, people. I would rather just watch a movie.
Are you afraid of audience interaction?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't like that
yes.
either. I don't like audience
I hate being in the audience when that happens, and I hate being on stage when I do that.
You have to do that?
I have done that before, and I hate it. I'm not a fan of
How dare you?
audience interaction. It's not up to me. It's up to the director. But yeah, I'm not a fan of that because it's always weird. It's always awkward.
There was we went to the Wizard of Oz once, and
classic.
the audience members.
I was in that. I've been in. No,
You were there.
I wasn't
you
there.
You were in that play?
I wasn't
Nice.
in that. I wasn't in that. I was in a. I was in
one of the Munchkins.
maybe. I don't know.
Well,
I wasn't in
I
that.
was gonna get to that. The Munchkins were the audience.
What?
Like that's what they said. The audience were
What?
the Munchkins, and in the form of audience interaction.
Oh,
and so the Wicked Witch of the North or West or wherever she's from came out and was like, "Where did they go? Where did the Tin Man and the Dorothy go?" And then we were supposed to point her in the wrong direction, but everyone's like, "That way!" And we all pointed to the right direction where they went, and then she was like, "Are you sure it's not this way?" And we're like, "No, it's that way." And then finally she's
gosh.
like, "Well, I'm gonna go this way." And then like she decided to go the opposite way. And then we were all like, "No!" And then like a whole like uproar went out in the crowd. Like, what?
She probably knew you were like trolling her, and she was just like, "Oh boy, how do I get out of this?"
Yeah.
That's some improv skills right there.
Yeah. Not really.
Not really, but it
all
worked.
you gotta do is just say,
It's just
"Well,
say,
I'm
well,
gonna
I'm
go
gonna
the
do
right
that.
way. I'm gonna do that." That's all.
That's
she
where
did.
that's where it comes in handy. At least that's the type of situations
Well,
you.
I'm sure,
do
like if
improv
I was
for.
in that situation, I'd be like, "Wait a minute, this
Wait
is
a
not
minute.
what they're supposed to say."
I definitely would
And I'd
have
be
like,
"Well, okay, I'll go that way."
if
then."
I was in that situation, I would have that
I'll
moment
actually
of
go that
panic,
way.
but then be like, "You sure it's not that way? I'm gonna go that way." Anyway,
There was-
let's just do what she did.
There was one play we went to, and it was like the mouse. It was like a mouse and a toy. Remember that?
That was the
First grade.
Nutcracker.
Isn't
No,
that
it wasn't
just
the
the
Nutcracker.
Nutcracker? No?
It was a mouse. Oh yeah, that basically just
That's-
described. But it wasn't.
That's not correct.
It was like a teddy bear, and like a scarecrow or something. And at one point they started on fire.
I don't remember this.
Is this?
I don't know what it
thinking-
was.
Where was this? Was this at the community theater?
Yes.
I think
Was
you
this
had
the
it.
Velveteen Rabbit?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes!
Whoa! I think I
Yes!
saw that when I think my school went there.
That was. It was in first
That
grade.
was
though.
like the first.
So it was like 13 years ago.
Oh, but I was like changed grades,
It's like
so
a century.
It was like 1,000 years ago.
I definitely saw that. If it was at the community theater, I definitely saw it. My school
How'd
took
you
me there.
remember what it was called?
I remembered it.
It was a rabbit and the guy, and they started
Yeah.
on fire.
Yeah.
That's the
And the
Velvet
kid at the
Yeah.
beginning was
That's-
celebrating his birthday, but nobody wanted to celebrate his birthday.
He
Yes.
said he was 19 and then he turned 6 or something like that. I just remember that. I guess that's where the theater kid instinct kicks in. I'm sorry. I remember that though. That was like
did
the
slander
first.
This guy.
That
in the
was-
comments.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for being alive.
Maybe you should just
I
stick
should
to be
just-
behind the camera.
Yeah, from now on you'll see me behind the camera. But yeah, I remember that. That was like the first show I ever saw, like there. I think that was just the first show I ever saw. Period. But I didn't do theater until like the 7th grade.
Well, there you go.
But I remember seeing it. Should I talk about? Are we gonna keep going?
I don't think so.
No.
I
I
have
think
more to
we've
talk
talked.
about.
I think we've talked. If you
You
want to,
overstayed
listen to
your
Mickey
welcome.
talk about
Theater
theater stuff,
I feel like I should start a theater podcast.
Yeah,
you can start a theater podcast,
Maybe I will.
and we will.
You
And me and Gabe will be
you
guest.
overstayed
You'll
your
dislike.
welcome.
You will dislike every single
Me and
one.
Gabe will be guest stars on it,
Yeah.
and we're just gonna be like,
But Mickey here overstayed his welcome.
Get bullied. I sure did.
"That's
So let's-
true."
I
Let's wrap
promise.
this up.
I promise I won't. I promise if you let me out of the basement again, I promise I won't talk about theater the whole
Good.
time.
Get out of here.
Okay.
Get out of here.
Thank you
Okay,
for
see
watching
ya.
ThorinMutt Podcast.
Well, going obscure. We'll be back on December 1st, 2038. That's right, I said it. You kids are going to have to wait a lot longer than you thought because we have to delay it. This is Stampy Longlegs with the Minecraft Dead Tam-Wham outro. So, goodbye.
My cheers or whatever told us that as Ron, I was stuck in a trap because I got like captured or something. So I remember distinctly being really mad because I was like, no, Ron's gonna be stuck in a trap for the rest of eternity.